Mitchell lines a shot toward second base, a solid crack. But wait, Wambsganssen's there. Our man, Bill Wambsgans, the Indians' second baseman, breaks to his right. Wamby leaps and snags the liner in midair. 1 out. He lands right by second base where the runner from first, Pete Kilduff, had already passed. Wamby steps on second base to double off that runner. 2 outs. The other runner, Otto Miller, is caught in no man's land coming from first, eyes wide. Wambsgans calmly turns and tags Miller, who's scrambling back towards first. 3 outs. An unassisted triple play. He got all 3 outs himself. For a moment, no one in the park believes what they just saw. 27,000 fans collectively gasp. Did Wamby really do that? Then pandemonium. The entire stadium erupts in cheers in pure astonishment. Wambsgans just turned the only unassisted triple play in World Series history. To this very day, over a century later, no one has done that again in a World Series. It was a once-in-a-lifetime feat, pulled off by a man whose name was as hard to say as the play was rare. Bill Wambsgans instantly became a World Series legend in that 1 minute of brilliance. After that inning, the outcome of Game 5 felt almost like a footnote. The Cleveland crowd was in a frenzy, sensing destiny. The Indians cruised on to win that game 8-1. The barrage of firsts, first grand slam, first and only unassisted triple play, first homer by a pitcher, made Game 5 an instant classic. Cleveland now led the series 3-2, needing just 2 more wins for the championship. Back to Brooklyn for Game 6. And perhaps the adrenaline of Game 5 still had Cleveland riding high. Duster Miles took the mound for the Tribe and threw a shutout. Cleveland won Game 6 1-0, a tight duel that suddenly put them on the brink of a title. The Robins shut out and shut down looked deflated. Cleveland's pitching was coming through in spades. And so we came to Game 7, October 12th, 1920, with the Indians up 4-2. Remember, first to 5 wins. Cleveland had a chance to clinch their first ever championship at home. Who better to have on the mound than Stan Coveleski once more? Coveleski had already won Games 1 and 4. Now in Game 7, he was pitching on just a few days' rest. And he was masterful. Relying on that spitball and iron will, Coveleski baffled Brooklyn one last time. Cleveland scratched out a few runs and Coveleski did the rest, completing a 5-hit shutout in Game 7. The final score, 3-0 Cleveland. Series over. Cleveland wins 5-2. When that last out was recorded, League Park exploded in celebration. Cleveland's fans poured out onto the field in jubilation. Their team was crowned World Series champions at last. Players were hoisted on shoulders. They likely sang, cried, and hugged, remembering how far they'd come. Amidst the the ginger ale, showers in the clubhouse, the Indians dedicated the victory to Ray Chapman. They did win it for Ray. A bronze plaque would later hang at the ballpark in Chapman's honor, but the 1920 title was the most meaningful tribute of all. From the depths of tragedy, the Cleveland Indians climbed to the very top. The 1920 World Series proved to be a turning point in baseball history in more ways than one. On the field, it was the crowning of Cleveland, a city healing through sport, a team that found light after darkness. Off the field, it marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. The very next year, in response to the Black Sox scandal, Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis would become the first commissioner of baseball, vowing to cleanse the game's reputation. The use of scuffed-up, darkened balls like the one that struck Chapman was banned. From now on, clean white balls were kept in play to improve safety. The spitball was outlawed for new pitchers, with a handful of old-timers like Burley Grimes grandfathered in. And while 1920 was still very much the dead ball era, there were signs of change. Babe Ruth had smashed an unheard of 54 home runs that season in New York, heralding the slugger era on the horizon. Baseball was stepping out of the shadows of scandal and into a bright new day. But before charging into the roaring 20s, the game got a story for the ages in 1920. Think of the richness of this narrative, a team galvanizing around the memory of a fallen teammate, fans finding joy again after mourning, a World Series providing pure thrills, a grand slam, a heroic triple play, a pitcher hitting a home run, all genuine, untainted magic at the ballpark. It was exactly what baseball needed. As one newspaper put it, fans were in ecstasies as the tribe triumphs, and indeed they were. For Brooklyn's Robins, defeat was bitter, but they had played their part in a historic drama. In the annals of baseball, 1920 stands out as the year baseball's soul was tested and ultimately restored. The final image of that World Series is a powerful one. Tris Speaker's Indians celebrating on the field, hats in the air, tears in many eyes, and amid them all the specter of Ray Chapman smiling down. Out of tragedy came triumph. Out of scandal came a renewed spirit of fair play. The game of baseball proved it could endure. And there you have it, the remarkable tale of the 1920 World Series, where Cleveland's crowning glory gave our national pastime just the shot in the arm it needed. Thank you for joining me on this journey back to 1920. This has been Crowned, a Smell Baseball podcast, looking at baseball's earliest crownings. I'm Mr. Baseball, and I hope you enjoyed the colorful stories, the sounds, and the smells of a golden age of the game. Until next time, keep your old leather glove handy and your memories even handier. As we've seen in baseball, as in life, even after the darkest night, the sun comes up shining on a new diamond. So long, folks. This has been Crowned, a Smell Baseball podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode, and remember, the legend lives as long as baseball fans tell the tale.